I am Canon EOS photographer, Randall and Rueff, and today I want to talk to you about the viability of old equipment. Is some equipment still good that's, old? Now, everything today is digital and HD, but today the camera I want to talk about, something that is digital, but it's not HD, is my XL-1S here. I love this camera. It's heavy, it's durable, it's high quality, and it still looks cool. It's kind of like the DeLorean in Back to the Future. It still looks cool. So, I love this camera. The main problem is, by today's standards, this is huge. Secondly, it doesn't do HD video. So, it really, for all intents and purposes, this camera that I'm recording this video on right here is the Flip Video HD, and it records in 720p, and it costs $200. The camera that you're watching, that's recording this image right here of me, is a Flip HD, and it's recording 720p. This, at its best, does 480. Standard television before 720 and 1080p. This is the best television camera prior to HD that they made for some time in this form factor, in the size. Back in the day, this was the camera, okay, people? That's why I saved up and bought this particular camera. Now, it still works perfectly. It's an excellent shot. I take very good care of this. I do my best to take care of my equipment very, very well, because I normally have to pay for it myself. In fact, I always have to pay for it myself. There's been a few occasions where people have given me, help financially, but 90% of the time, or more, I have to buy my own equipment, so I take very good care of it, because I know if I break it, one, I either have to buy a new one, or two, I may not have the money to buy a new one. I have to wait a while and save up some more money to buy a new one, so I might be without it because I don't have the money. So I take very good care of my equipment. I love this camera. It works great. Runs off the Mini or the 3CCD digital. It runs off the Mini DV tapes, which, let me show you. Yeah, there's one in there. Which are these little doohickeys right here. These are very cheap nowadays. Basically because they're not using them very much. They're still using them in some cameras. Some high-end, medium price cameras. So they're still out there. They're still available. But their day is soon probably to be at an end. But I love this camera. It's awesome. It does all kinds of stuff as far as time and dating and recording where you're at. And the lens, let me tell you about this lens. This lens right here is a beast of a lens. It's a 16 times zoom lens. So basically, 50 millimeters times 16 would be, I can't even do the math, let's see. Be 50, 100, 150, 250, 350, 450, 550, 650, 750, 9,000. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it works, but that's approximately. It's a very powerful lens. I'll have to get the exact equivalent. It's 5.5 to 88 millimeter in video terms. It's a 16 times zoom, so I would have to, like I said, get the exact. I don't really think this is a 5.5. It's whatever it is in photography. This is video, not photography. So the 5.5 to 88 millimeters isn't anywhere near the same as it would be if it was a camera or a still camera. So they're not the same. So, but you hold it here. Great grip. You can adjust this to be this eye or this eye. You can turn this around. So if you want to, turn around this way maybe. There. So if we do it this way, so there's so many. I mean, it's got so many neat options on it. You can do time-lapse photography or videography with this. You can do, I mean, it's amazing what this can do. The only downside, again, nowadays is, of course, the size and the weight. But more importantly is the HD. This does not do HD video. Believe me, if this did HD video, especially if it did 1080p, I would still be using this. There's no doubt about it. I can do 720p is what I've got, but if this did 1080p or 2K or 4K, believe me, this would be in use every day. Well, man, not every day, but a lot more. Right now, it just sits in the closet. And that's one of the things I want to talk about, is the fact that this camera, as good as it is basically a paperweight. It works great. It records videos and tapes. But for all intents and purposes, this is a paperweight. And let me tell you why the camera is a paperweight. Because despite the fact it works perfectly, the viewfinder works, I mean, every part of this camera works the way it's intended to work. But the reason I say it's a paperweight is because, again, 1, the size, 2, the weight, and 3, this is the big one. This is the big one, HD. Nobody is shooting in 480 or below anywhere, to my knowledge. For your high quality. I mean, that's just, it's not being done. People are shooting 720, 1080p, 2K, and of course 4K is coming. I mean, I've already seen a few videos on YouTube where they're shooting in 4K, so it's coming. It's excuse me, pop it back. But Canon is one of the leaders in 4K. They're doing excellent work with new cameras, and I would love to be able to get my hands on a 1DX or a 1DC. At least with the 1DX, I can do 1080p. That would be a step up. But if I can get my hands on a 1DC, that'd be even better. This camera, I mean, unless I'm just shooting something around the house, or, well, to be honest, this camera I'm shooting right here, that's why, I mean, I can carry that. The camera that's recording this image right here, the flip video, it's about this big by this big. It's about that thick. It fits in my pocket. I got a little pocket carrier I put on my belt clip, or belt, and I carry it anytime I want to go. I can just carry it. It's very unobtrusive, very small. Runs on 2 AA batteries. Where this thing runs on a special. This is a Linmar. This is very expensive. This was like $80. No, let me take that back. This was, yeah, about $75 to $80. Whereas the batteries that's running in that camera that's recording this video cost, well, let's see, I got a battery charger, I got rechargeables, and it came with 4 batteries for like $15. So, a lot cheaper. Higher quality video. Now, the only advantage this camera has, and it still has this advantage, is this lens. This lens gives it a zoom that's excellent. Excellent zoom. Now, both of these cameras have zoom. Both of these cameras have a digital zoom, but I have the digital zoom on this one turned off, and I have the digital zoom on that one turned off. And the truth of the matter is, I very seldom, if ever, even use any kind of zoom on this camera. I set it to the widest setting it will go, just leave it there. I seriously hardly ever zoom. Every great once in a while I'll zoom, but it's just like, I can just sit there with a wide angle. It lets a wide angle image. It looks good. It's pretty good for doing that kind of thing. And that's where this camera supersedes it. That is the zoom. It can zoom in real far and have great effect. And again, it's not HD. That's the downside. But for today, at least I spent $4,000 for this thing. And that's not including extra batteries, tapes, a $350 carrying case. I bought several batteries. And basically, nah, it's worthless. I mean, seriously, it's brick. I mean, I looked on eBay, and they're selling these things in perfect shape for $500, if that. Around $450. It's $500. I saw some between $450 and $500. So if I'm lucky, I can get $500 off of this that I paid $4,000 for. So, am I happy about that? No. Am I glad technology is advancing? Of course I am. But this is one of the downsides to technology. It keeps getting better and better, which is good. I like that aspect of it. But the downside is you have things like this that just take up space. I mean, this is just seriously, this is just sitting in a camera bag in a shelf. I pulled it out today to make this video, but aside from that, seriously, it's been in that shelf in the bag for probably, with the exception of a few times I used it to take pictures of it for some project I was doing for something else. But for the most part, it sits in a camera bag on a shelf with the battery. This is a part from it, and it just sits there. It's no good. It's useless. It has no real use, even though it's perfectly functional, which is sad, because I wish there was some way I could convert this to an HD camera. I mean, if I could convert this to an HD or even a 4K camera, that would be awesome. I mean, this lens is in perfect shape. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this lens. You can zoom and focus. Look how smooth that is. That's like perfectly smooth. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. It's got a stabilizer, got an ND filter built in, it's got auto and manual focus. I mean, it's so awesome. I mean, when I bought it, I didn't end up shooting as many wedding videos as I thought I would when I first bought it, but I have shot several weddings with this, as far as that goes. So back before HD really broke in, it was a good thing to have. So I've enjoyed shooting with it. It looks professional. It is professional. It's got back in the day, it's got before HD. It's got all the extras. It's got all the time code crap and stuff I never use. It's got all kinds of inputs. It's got VCR, and you can play back stuff here. You can in and out stuff here. Of course, it's got the tape. It's got the thing that pulls down for your, put it on your shoulder. It's got all kinds of settings inside that are easy to figure out. If you can't figure it out, there's a manual that comes with it, of course, but most of the stuff's pretty easy. I mean, it's got all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's made to hold. It's excellent. But it's a paperweight. It's a piece of metal with glass and a battery. Because, quite frankly, nobody's shooting standard definition videos anymore. I mean, I've been shooting with this camera HD for several years now. And it's great. It's great. I love the little flip. And I wish I could upgrade to the 1DX or something like that that had full HD so I could go 1080p. Now that I've got Comcast, I hated AT&T. Don't even get me started about AT&T internet. But anyway, now that I've got Comcast internet, it's so much better, by the way. But now I can upload faster and more reliably. I can do faster things. I want to be able to shoot 1080p because I can now shoot that, and YouTube accepts those larger files now, so that's great, and things like that. So YouTube's come a long way, the internet's come a long way. I just wish I could afford a camera that was, that's the problem I can't afford everything I wish I could afford, at least not right now. Hopefully that'll change in the near future, but for right now, it's back to, I thought about going up to Indianapolis to see if they would maybe, see, I hate to sell it. I love this camera though. I love it so much. I don't want to sell it because it's I feel like that guy in Indiana Jones is like, if you bury it for 10,000 years, it'll be worth billions of dollars. From the, he's like, Dr. Jones, I know you want to blow it up. So, because it's a part of history. Well, in 10,000 years, maybe it'll be worth $1 million, but right now it's, according to the internet, it's worth about 500, if I'm lucky. So, it's just annoying I hate it. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish there was somewhere where I could trade it in and get a camera that's comparable. I would love to go, ooh, this is a 5D Mark III. I mean, this costs more than the 5D Mark III does right now. That I would love to have with a battery accessory battery grip. But there's no way I can get a 5D Mark III with the price of it now. So, but I don't know. It's annoying. I mean, that's something. The reason I'm making this video is I want you to be aware when you go to buy your own photography equipment of this situation, that in a few years, especially not so much lenses, but especially cameras. Cameras are going to be. I mean, lenses go down in price too, and they go down, because they make new ones and they make better ones. But that's not so much as it is for cameras. Cameras are. I mean, there's a lot of lenses they made 20 years ago that are just as good, then as they are. I mean, they're great. Whereas cameras, it's just they keep making them better, which is good. But the old ones go down in price because they can't do as much. They don't have as many features, or the quality's not as good, etc., etc., etc. So what you gotta think about is when I go to buy a camera, I tell people to think about, what? Imagine the fact that you're never going to be able to sell it. Or if you do, it's not going to be anywhere near what you paid for it. I mean, just think of it as something that you're never going to sell. Because, well, you may be able to sell it, but it's not going to be worth a whole lot. For the most part, you're not going to be able to get anywhere near what you paid for it. So what you got to do is think about how much is this worth to you when you buy it. When I go to buy this camera, how much is it worth to me as far as usage? I mean, I've got a lot of use done. Excuse me, I'm just saying those days. I haven't got as much usage as I would have liked to have gotten out of this, but I have gotten a lot of use out of it, and it has served a good purpose, so I don't think it hasn't. I've got a lot of videos, both family events, weddings, more family events and stuff on this than anything else, probably, to be honest with you. But I've used it for weddings, I've used it for different events, I've used it for family things, and it has served its purpose. So that's when you buy something, especially a camera. Again, more lenses, not so much, but still lenses too, but not near as because you can buy a camera, and here's why I say that, because you can buy a camera today, 10 years from now, you can buy a better camera, or 5 years from now, whatever, you can buy a better camera that you can still use the old lens with, and it's going to be, the lens, if you take care of your lenses, it's going to be fine. Whereas with the camera, they're always going to be making better sensors, and they're going to be making better processors and faster processors, and so it's always, the camera itself is always going to be getting better, which means the older the other stuff is, the less it's going to be worth. So you have to put in your mind, when I go to buy a camera, is the money I'm going to pay for this camera going to be worth it in the way and the amount that I'm going to be able to use it? I mean, if you're going to go out and spend $6,000 or $7,000 for a camera, like I'd love to with the 1DX if I had the money, just trust me, I got that camera, I'll be using it like crazy. But you have to think about, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, am I really going to be taking that many pictures with that camera that I need? You know what I'm saying? Because in a few years, that camera's not going to be worth. It's going to be worth. Well, within 5 years, it's going to be worth probably. I don't know. I couldn't give you the exact ratio, but it's going to be worth a lot less. Is my point. So my point is, if you're going to spend the money, are you going to be able to get the usage out of it that you think is worth it? And keeping in mind that what I think is good usage may not be the same thing as you or somebody else. Just depends on your usage and how much money you make, and a lot of different factors. But this is the XL-1S. I'm hoping to. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. For now, it's just going to sit in the carry bag in the closet. I may sell it. I may trade it in. I don't know. I'd like to get something to replace this camera right here that I'm shooting this video with. It does full HD, which is 1080p. This video is being shot in 720, as you can see from the stuff down below. But if you're watching this on YouTube, which you probably are, I don't know. It's just something to think about when you buy photography equipment. The value of your lenses are going to go down less than your camera. Your camera's going to go down in value relatively quickly, especially compared to the lenses or some other accessories. I mean, for example, you want to know? You know what? I paid, talking about things that go down. I paid $4,000 for this when I bought it. I got a $500 rebate, and they sent me a check in the mail. It took about 2 or 3 weeks to get it. So basically, I paid $3,500 for this. The case I keep this in costs $350. And I went to look in a catalog the other day, and the same case, the exact same case, costs $300 new. So the case stayed approximately the same from 10 years ago, okay? I mean, the case is approximately the same price. The camera, way less. So that just kind of irks me, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. And hopefully now you'll understand sometimes why certain people like myself get frustrated, because right now I just can't afford to upgrade everything I'd like to be able to, and it's like I've got this equipment that I invested in. I wish I could get the $4,000 back into that I invested, but it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. So, because there's some new equipment I'd like to get, and some, it's just frustrating, But it's something you gotta live with. And I just want to make a little video explaining it to you for those of you who are just getting into it. Because if you're going to be a professional photographer or videographer or both, for the long term, this is something you're going to have to get used to. Because you're never going to get back, or 99% of the time, you're not going to get back what you put into it. So use it, care for it, and use it a lot and as much as possible. So that's all I've got to say for now. Sorry to bum me out, guys, but that's just the way it is. I mean, it's the way of the world. So, until next time, I'm Canon EOS photographer Randall. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. May God bless you, and as always, keep taking those pictures.